يا صلي وسلم دائما أبدا على حبيبك خير الخلق كلهم. مولاي صلي وسلم دائما أبدا على حبيبك خير الخلق كلهم. يا نبي سلام عليك، يا رسول سلام عليك، يا حبيب سلام عليك، صلوات الله عليك. صل على النبي وتبسم، ده النبي تبسم وتبسم. دائما أبدا على حبيبك خير الخلق كلهم. مولاي صل كلهم. يا نبي سلام عليك، يا رسول سلام عليك، يا حبيب سلام عليك، صلوات الله عليك. صل على النبي وتبسم، ده النبي تبسم وتبسم، ده النبي تبسم. اللهم صل عليه. قلبي المتيم كلما صلى. مولاي صل وسلم دائما أبدا على حبيبك خير الخلق كلهم. مولاي صل وسلم دائما أبدا على حبيبك خير الخلق كلهم. يا نبي سلام عليك. صل على.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على سيدنا محمد أشرف المرسلين وعلى آله أجمعين. Assalamu alaikum and a very good evening to all. Thank you for joining this session once again. So let's start Al-Fatiha first to begin our session. Alhamdulillah, I think we have rest for about quite a long time, yeah, Brother Idlan, for the past, I think, almost 2 months. And we able to join again and we're able to conduct again this event subsequently. So currently tonight is the event series number 9, and we're going to concentrate on the subsequent hukum mat, which is mat Silah, is it just now? Yeah. Okay, I think before that, considering that this is a recorded session, I'm sure that we would like to refresh back our audience and our future audience regarding this event. So let us see a little bit of the objective of this event once again. So basically this event is basically to revise and to give proper exposure about Tajwid and Al-Quran recitation to all of us, and to provide the basic correct knowledge on Al-Quran recitation, and also to incorporate and to inculcate and to increase the awareness and also our a love towards searching for knowledge, especially related with Tajweed. So how the flow of the program going to be is that at the beginning of the session, we will invite our brother Idlan to share his input and knowledge regarding few hukum. And after that, we will recite few ayah from Al-Quran in order for us to revise the hukum that we have learned before. And the third session will be that we will allow our audience, if there is anyone who would like to recite Al-Quran, so that we can hear together and revise together, all right? So this is the series number 9. So I think we begin since early this year, where we begin with hukum nun sakinah. Right? So actually, let's revise a bit of hukum nun sakinah. So there are basically 4 hukum nun sakinah that we have learned before, based on the letters and also the pronunciation of either with nasal sound or not, with dengung or not. So the first one is iqlab. So there's only one letter, which is ba. So the hukum happen when the nun sakinah meets the letter of iqlab, which is ba, and this one when this hukum happen, as if like there is a pronunciation of the nun sakinah towards mim, and there will be a pronunciation of dengung or nasal pronunciation during this hukum, right? Subsequent one is idram bila guna. So this is happen when nun sakinah meets either 2 of the letters, which is ra and lam. And when we say it's bila guna, means that it should not be any nasal sound or nasal pronunciation. It should be clear. The third one is idram ma'al guna. So this happen when the nun sakinah meets 4 letters, which is waw, mim, nun, ya. And this require pronunciation of nasal sound and guna, which is in the qadar or in the duration of about 2 harakah. The last one is ifa hakiki. So basically this nun sakinah meets all the letters except the one that we mentioned just now. So basically when it meets either the letters of tha, zai, sad, fa, za, ta, dot, dal, qaf, sin, shin, jim, kaf, dot, ta. Example, when there is a nun sakinah meets either of these letters, the pronunciation should be gunnah, or should be with nasal pronunciation, right? Or another one is that we have not mentioned just now is izhar halki. So izhar halki, whenever that the nun sakinah meets the 6 letters of izhar halki, they should be clear, crystal clear, without any added sounds, right? So that is about the nun, the hukum that related with nun sakinah and tanwin, and tanwin as well. After that, I think there's a 3 series that we focus on hukum mad. So basically, in the introduction, we have already revised, informed everyone that there's actually 3 letters of mad under hukum mad, which is alif, waw, and ya. So we begin with mad asli. So in mad asli, whenever that there is a presence of these 3 letters, and accordingly before each letters there is either above sign, below sign, or a front sign, accordingly to alif, waw, and ya, the pronunciation should be 2 harakah, right? So that is considered as asli or mad asli, and this might happen not because of at the end of letter. It's not because of we make it hamzah or we make it sukun. It's just within the letter itself there is a presence of huruf mad, and also there's a signs of above or below, front sign that we mentioned just now, and we need to pronounce about 2 harakah. And after that we discuss about madlin, if not mistaken. So madlin is when there is when it happens when we meet either when it's happening involve a letter of waw or ya, and we make it at the end of the sentence, right? And after that, we also discuss about what mad jaiz munfasil and what wajib mutasil, and this is happen when the huruf mad meets the letter of hamzah, either in the same word or in the different 2 words and the harakah is different accordingly. Either is at when we make it continuously, pronounce continuously, or we make it as a sukun. We would like to make a wakaf at the end of that words. Yeah. So I think that's among the huruf mat that we have discussed so far until series number 8. And Alhamdulillah, tonight we're going to discuss on the subsequent huruf hukum mat, which is mat silah. So I pass the session back to Brother Idlan. Brother Idlan, thank you.
Yeah, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. And thank you to the Shaiful. Long time no see. Okay. Okay, so let's begin tonight's session with the kum maksilah. Okay, I hope everyone can see. Okay, so like I said before, in Malaysia we follow Hafan Asim and Al Mukallaf is obligated to learn Tajwid. Okay, so the next topic is Maksilah. Okay, actually Maksilah is divided into Maksilah Tawilah and Maksilah Qasirah. Okay, actually the difference is just a little bit. So I think it is easy for us to remember, to recognize the Maksilah Tawilah and Maksilah Qasirah. Okay, but first, why it's called Maksilah? Okay, it's called Maksilah because it's the hukum is only occur when we wasal or when we continue the recitation, which means that if we stop there, so there will be no hukum. Okay, the start of mat for masilah, actually if you see in Quran, actually masilah occur after the habami. Habami is we call like yes ha. So ha. So okay, how we want to recognize? Usually after the letter ha, there is what we call the small ya and small waw. While sekejap. Pointer. Okay, so usually there will be small ya or small waw. And usually it is after the letter ha. Okay, so okay, that's first thing that we need to know. How is masilah? Which means after letter ha, and usually it is accompanied with the small ya or small waw. Okay. So next. Okay, next. What is the difference between masilah tawilah and masilah qasirah? Okay, so actually for masilah tawilah, after the small ya, there is no hamzah. There is no hamzah. So we just read it for 2 harakat. But for masilah tawilah, after the small ya, there is hamzah. And eventually, in Quran, for masilah tawilah, they will put the wave sign above the small waw or small ya. So actually, it is easy for us to remember. But what we need to remember is for masilah tawilah, we should read it either 4 or 5 harakat. So that's why I say actually the difference between masilah qasirah and masilah tawilah is just the hamzah. And actually they already put the wave sign for masilah tawilah, so we already know. Actually. So we already know Silah Qasirah. Okay, so for easy for us to recognize, for Silah Qasirah, there is no wave sign. And for Silah Tawilah, there is wave sign above the small waw or small ya. And actually, what we call, if we want to know the theory. Okay, the theory is actually about the after the small for Silah Tawilah, after the small ya or small waw, there is Hamzah. So that's why, and actually in one book, you see that actually Silah Tawilah is one of the Majais Munfasil. Okay, so but I don't want to go into that. But just for us to remember that Silah Tawilah like this with a small ya or small waw with sign, and we should read it 4 or 5 harakah. So actually that's all for Masilah. So okay.
Sorry, Brother Idlan.
Yes.
I'd like to echo back what you mentioned just now about Mad Jaiz Mufasil. So Mad
Yes.
Jaiz Mufasil, it happens when the wave sign meet Hamzah in two different words, right? So when we continuing the recitation, it should be 4 or 5 harakah. So the harakah is similar as if in Silah Tawilah, because after the wave sign, there also Hamzah, so they meet Hamzah. But the main difference is that the Imad Jaiz Mufasil is not happen at the Ha Domir just now. It happens just because of the presence of wave signs and meets Hamzah in the two different letters. So this is when we're talking about Silah, we're talking that we not make it wakaf, right? We continuously reciting it as it's not wakaf. So this is the hukum. What happened if we would like to wakaf, we would like to end that sentence at that particular ha domir? Does it still considered Silah or is considered another hukum?
Okay, so the thing is okay, like Dr. said, okay, for Mad Jaiz, actually it is not the wave sign that meet with Hamzah. It is actually the letter of Mad.
Oh
the
yeah, betul.
three letter of Mad with meet with Hamzah. So it will in two different words. So it will become Mad Jaiz Mufasil. And for this one is actually the wave sign is what was added. So actually the small ya meet with Hamzah, that caused the what you call that that's why we need to read it 4 to 5 harakah. And then for the next question, what if we stop? What if we stop there? So if we stop there, there will be no hukum at all. For example, like if we read this one, wa bi, so there will be no hukum. There will be no bihi, no, because yeah, bi. That's why
So sorry, Brother Idlan. So when we wakaf that, I mean we end that pronunciation at that ha damir, we no need to pronounce that wave sign anymore. So it's just stop there without any further harakah lah.
yes, correct.
Alright.
That's why in the book is it that why they call it Masil, because you know that silaturahim, we connect.
Yeah.
So which means that in we say that Masilah is a mat that only occur when we continue the recitation. So if we stop, then there will be no hukum. And actually in Quran there are many like in the end of the ayah there is a small waw and small ya. I will show you later. Okay, so think for the theory part, that's all for Masilah. Actually, it's quite easy to differentiate between Masilah, Qasirah, and Masilah Tawilah. And actually, for me, Masilah is one of the easiest mat to remember because uh, if we see the small ya, so or small wow, so eventually it is usually it is Masilah. Not all, but usually it is Masilah.
Can I ask, so when we're talking about continuing the recitation, example in the sentence that that you show in this sharing slide, is it practically correct if we wakaf at Hadami in this ayah, in this sentence? Because is it kind in the first place? I mean, like we can start what to be, right? Or we shouldn't be stopped there. We should continue because it can cause different meaning. Because I realize that there are matsilah at the end of the sentence that most of the time sometimes we tend to end that sentence, that ayah. But in this one, I think it's in the middle of that ayah. Is it allowable for us to stop there at Hadomi? Or is it basically we can, but we need to recite again a little bit earlier of that ayah, not at that point of time, or not at that point of letter of Hadomi that we stop.
Okay, so actually about the where to wakaf. So actually me myself also I'm not that master on that part. And for this ayah, I think I need to see the whole ayah to see whether it is appropriate or not to stop there. But I think if we stop there, eventually we should take take some word before and continue.
Agree. Right, thank you, Brother Idlan. So I think it's a common sign that we encounter, this wave sign, a small ya and small wow sign that we encounter, and sometimes we're not really sure what is the harakah. And I think myself, I tend to pronounce the harakah longer whenever there is a wave sign above that mud sign compared to just a single mud sign, which I think probably is quite be true, right? So generally we know how to pronounce, but we're not sure what is the name of that hukum. Okay. So now I think it's clear for us to know that there are two types of matsilah, kasirah or matsilah tawilah, right? So we can see a few examples, Brother Idlan.
Okay, so we go to the example. So the first one for the Surah Al-Humazah. So we see on the third ayah. Yahsabu annama lahu aslada. So like I said just now, usually after ha, and then we have the small waw, and after the small waw is there is hamzah. So and actually they have wave sign. So this one is what we call maksilah tawilah. We should read it 4 to 5 harakah. And let's say just now, let's say for the third ayah also, in the end of the ayah there is small waw. So there is small waw. So the question is, it is considered as maksilah qasirah or not? So if we stop here, so there will be no hukum. But if we try to continue this two ayah, for example like yahsabu annama lahu asladahu kalla la yumbadan fil hutama. So if we what you call, if we continue this two ayah, so there will be maksilah qasirah. So actually it is a lot in Quran. In the end of the ayah, there is small waw or small ya. So we need to know when it is considered as mat silah. Okay, for the next example is, okay, so this one also Surah Al-Qari'ah. So we see in the verse number 6 and verse number 8, in the end of the ayah, there is small waw. And like I said just now, if we continue this ayah with the next ayah, so that's when the masilah qasirah occur. But if not, there will be no hukum. But for masilah qasirah, we see in the verse number 9, فَأُمُّهُ هَاوِيَةٌ فَأُمُّهُ هَاوِيَةٌ. So actually, there is after ha, there is a small waw, and then after that there is no hamzah. So it is masilah qasirah. So we just read it for two harakat. And then for the next example is Surah Al-Adiyah. Okay, so for the Surah Al-Adiyah, actually there is a lot. Like in the verse number 4, number 5, number 6, number 7, and number 8. So like I said just now, okay, in this surah, you can see that okay, so let's recap the theory. So first, all occur after ha. And then there is all have small ya or small waw. And after the small waw or small ya, there is no hamzah. So that's why there is no sign. And that's why it is masilah qasirah, and we read it as two harakat. Example like فأثرن به نقعا فوسطن به جمعا إن الإنسان لربه لكنود وإنه على ذلك لشهيد وإنه لحب الخير لشديد. So you can see that we need to remember we need to read it as two harakah, because some people tend to just they just ignore the small waw and small ya. So actually we need to read it with two harakah, like ma asliyah. Okay, so the next one is okay, from the Surah Al-Lail. Okay, we can see in the verse number 10 and number 11. So you can see the difference. Both occur after ha, and both are small waw. But the difference is that after the small waw is the verse number 10, after the small waw, there is no hamzah. But after for the verse number 11, after the small waw, there is hamzah. So you can see the difference. So actually, for the verse number 10, it is masilah qasirah. And verse number 11, masilah tawilah. So if you read it, فَسَنُيَسِّرُهُ لِلْعُسْرَى وَمَا يُغْنِي عَنْهُ مَالُهُ إِذَا تَرَدَّى. You can see the difference. Okay, so I think the example is quite clear, I think, because that's why I think masilah is one of the easiest mat for us to recognize, and one of the easiest for us to remember. So I think that's all the example. So if there any question,
Yeah,
we can
thank you,
go
Brother
for.
Idlan. Can we go to slide example number 1? Actually, I would like to ask one question, but this is not pertaining to hukum silah. This is just suddenly pop up in my mind about the pronunciation of when you continue ayah number 1 to ayah number 2. I mean, like I suddenly I'm not sure either we should make it with the pronunciation of presence of nun or not. Example, wailul likulli humazatil lumazatil ladzi, or we should say that wailul likulli humazatil lumazatil ladzi. Lumazatil ladzi or lumazatil ladzi. Which one is true, Brother Idlan?
The first one, we add the nun.
Okay, so meaning that whenever there is a tanwin, supposedly is wakaf, but we try to make it continue with the subsequent subsequent word, but there's a presence of subdu, we need to pronounce as if there is involvement of nun there. All right, so we need to add nun. Okay, let's say that we not add the nun there when we continually recite the ayah to the subsequent ayah. Is it considered not right, or is it considered different meaning?
Okay, okay, for the consider or not right or not, I'm not really sure, because actually this one is like it's not we call advanced, but there are only some part of the Quran that have
Some part, yeah.
that occur like this. For example, like in Surah Jumu'ah. But yes, we can still consider as it is a not correct recitation. And okay, actually for this one, I don't remember the name of the nun that we add. But actually, the when we add nun is because there is tanwin that meet with you can see that above the alif there is like what you call a sign above the alif.
Okay.
I'm not remember what we call it, but actually that's one that causing the
needs for that nun
why
to be added.
why we need to add nun.
Okay, I see.
لكل همذة لمذة
Yeah, yeah. I think that's making I think that make it clear why we pronounce Auzubillahi minasyaitonir bismillahirrahmanirrahim walikulli humazatin lumazah, not humazatin lumazah, because that between two words there is no alif lam with the above sign in the alif, right? So in the subsequent lumazatin ladhi, because there is alif lam with the alif above sign on the alif. Yeah. Okay, all right. Thank you very much, Brother Idlan, for correcting my understanding and my technical recitation on this particular part. Thank you very much. So Alhamdulillah, I think we have learned hukum silah tonight, which is silah kathirah and mat silah tawilah. Yeah. Thank you very much. So we proceed to the subsequent session whereby we need to read together the ayah. So this is still the same surah that we recite before, right? Brother Idlan. So I just, before I forgot, I think after this, if we already finish this recitation of surah, probably we can begin with Surah Al-Baqarah. Is it okay, Brother Idlan? After this, let's say that we finish. Yeah. Okay. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم على أن نبدل أمثالكم وننشئكم فيما لا تعلمون ولقد علمتم النشأة الأولى فلولا تذكرون أفرأيتم ما تحرثون أأنتم تزرعونه أم نحن الزارعون لو نشاء لجعلناه طاما فظلتم تفكرون إنا لمغرمون بل نحن محرومون أفرأيتم الماء الذي تشربون أأنتم أنزلتموه من المزن أم نحن المنزلون لو نشاء جعلناه أجاجا فلولا تشكرون صدق الله العظيم.
So, thank you, Director. Okay, actually, we can see there is Masilah, Tawilah here. So, for the comment, I think it is good recitation. But if we can, we can add one thing is maybe about the pronunciation of raw, I think. Because like if we try to if we try to read raw raw di atas raw, it is not raw. So think that's one. The other thing is I think is good recitation.
Thank you very much, Brother Idlan. I will improve. Thank you. So invite Brother Idlan to recite the ayah as well. Thank you.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم على أن نبدل أمثالكم وننشئكم فيما لا تعلمون ولقد علمتم النشأة الأولى فلولا تذكرون أفرأيتم ما تحرثون أأنتم تزرعونه أم نحن الزارعون لو نشاء لجعلناه حطاما فظلتم تفكهون إنا لمغرمون بل نحن محرومون أفرأيتم الماء الذي تشربون أأنتم أنزلتموه من المزن أم نحن المنزلون لو نشاء جعلناه أجاجا فلولا تشكرون.
Alhamdulillah, thank you very much, Brother Idlan, for sharing his recitation. So I think as usual, we open for opportunity for anyone who would like to recite the ayah together with us. So if there is, we can proceed with volunteer to recite the ayah in Surah Al-Waqi'ah for these 10 verses. As for these 10 ayah, yeah. All right, I think it's okay, Brother Idlan. We can, I think we can just stop here for a while. So inshallah, I think in the subsequent session, we stay in the Surah Al-Waqi'ah for this recitation. And after that, inshallah, if it's already until the end of ayah 96, I'm not mistaken, and then we can proceed with Surah Al-Baqarah. Thank you very much, Brother Idlan. Alhamdulillah, we're back to our regular session, inshallah, until after this, until the end of Luqman, I hope. So I'm sure there will be another subsequent session after this. The matter is that sometimes we change the date, sometimes we change the time. So probably it's not every 2 weeks, sometimes it will be every 1 week. After that, another 3 weeks or 2 weeks. So it depends on our availability. But not most of the time we'll make it recorded so that everyone can get the benefit and we can revise and rewatch again the session. So with that, I'm truly, honestly thankful to Brother Idlan for helping me with this session and staying with me as my partner throughout the session, starting in the earlier until now and towards in the future session. And also would like to thankful to all that presence tonight in this live session, as well as for those who watch in the Facebook live and whoever that want to watch this again in the YouTube channel. And kindly please watch this session again in our official IOHK Kulliyyah of Medicine YouTube channel and follow our Facebook for further announcement in future. With that, we end our session with Suratul As and Tasbih Kifah. Thank you everyone. Assalamualaikum.